Hey again guys, welcome back to another PvP Guild Wars 2 class guide. This time we're on Warrior. So we've covered Thief and Mesmer already. The Thief class guide was really fun to make. The Mesmer one was was heavily based on how to deal with other classes. This will be a very general guide on how to play Warrior, things to do, some rotations, how to deal with other classes, and a Warrior's role. So I see a lot of new players jump onto Warrior thinking it's an easy class that hits hard and can be tanky at the same time. This is kind of true, however, there's a lot more to it than that. So I'll go through the role of the warrior pretty much. So warrior can have two roles. It can be a big shout support, condition cleansing bunker warrior that stands on points forever, reviving allies and dropping banners on people. And then there can be another type of warrior, which is destroyer, which is usually run with a greatsword and another weapon set like axe, shield, or hammer, even longbow in some cases. But the primary weapon for a damage warrior is greatsword because of its massive 100 blade spike damage on the downed, its utility, its mobility from rush and whirlwind, and the ability to catch up to foes and cleave them down. So so that's Destroy Warrior's role is to take out targets, cleave downed, and get multiple people downed, and do massive damage in an area through hammer or greatsword, and be able to win most 1v1s and roam around the map quickly. So Warrior usually runs stances or signets unless they're running a tanky build, which they would run shouts. So Warrior has stances which basically give them an advantage in combat. They have banners which buff you and all your allies and provide some skills. Shouts which can heal and clear conditions, give buffs. AoE fear interrupts. Signets which give passives and the actives do something cool and give you 100 precision when traded. And then physical skills which aren't very useful and usually don't do very much. It's better to take a different skill over a physical. The heal on Warrior is extremely powerful, giving us passive 360 health per second regen, and the active on the heal is very lackluster, but the passive makes it really strong. It makes us survive in nearly every fight, and And then your damage comes from greatsword. If you're taking too much pressure, you can pop Endure Pain. This makes you take 0 power damage for 5 seconds, and it's a stun breaker. And then Berserker Stance makes you take 0 conditions for 10 seconds. And then Dolyak Signet gives you stability. So if you combine all these three together, you're immune to everything. So I'll go through some of the weapons here on Warrior. So sword main hand, auto attack, bleed, cleave. It's a chain attack, but it bleeds your opponents and cripples them. This is great in condition builds, but pretty lackluster in power builds other than Sword 3. Savage Leap, a massive warrior leap, great for moving around points, great for getting to places. This is run in Shout Warrior because it gives you mobility, helps you get to fights quicker, and is a leap finisher. Then Final Thrust is a big power spike when foes are under 50%, but otherwise it's just a normal damaging skill. Sword Offhand, throw your sword and impale them, another condition skill, applies 5 stacks of torment, lasts 8 seconds. Riposte, or riposte, I don't know. It's a block, which if you block an attack, you bleed your foes for 4 stacks for 12 seconds, great in condition builds again, and you gain adrenaline if you're not attacked. I'll go through hammer and some hammer rotations in a little bit. And then longbow, so longbow is another condition / utility weapon. Auto attacks can apply burn when traded. 1200 range auto attack, ranged pressure. Fan of fire, burning again, great for condition pressure, and it pierces. Arcing arrow is a blast finisher and a high hitting power spike, 1200 range again. Smoldering arrow is a quick blind and finishing physical projectile finisher, so great for blocking things like enemy warrior hammer stuns, guardian mighty blows, thief, heart seekers, mesmer mirror blades, things like that. And then Pin Down is another condition skill, bleeds and immobilizes, great for your allies to set up their burst and for you to get a lot of condition pressure on your opponent. With the axe auto attack is massive 3-man cleave, so you'll usually be cleaving about 3 people, so that's why axe shield can be run instead of greatsword. The axe F1 skill is eviscerate, a massive single target power spike, but it's easily dodged or blocked or kited. Cyclone axe adds vulnerability and strikes 2 foes. And then throw axe just chucks an axe and cripples, similar to your greatsword 4, but less damage. Dual strike, gain fury, hit your foes twice, also hits 3 targets, and then whirling axe is a massive damage spin that's AoE and is multiple whirl finishes. I'll show that off here. It's actually really nice damage. And this is AoE, remember. Yeah, so 6k there. And yep, so back to the weapons. I'll go through greatsword rotations and its kit in a bit. Mace weapons are mainly for CC and blocking. Yeah, mace isn't run in this current meta pretty much, but yeah, it's mainly for CC, applying vulnerability and blocking. Rifle, massive range pressure. Auto attack, 1200 range. Number 2, cripples. Number 3 is a hard hitting skill that goes in bolts. It shoots 1 bolt at a time 5 times. This can hit up to about 7 or 8k. Brutal shot, just a vulnerability stacker, a bit more damage for you and your team. Rifle butt is great if a thief or a mesmer or something runs up to you. You can just knock them away and dodge back to get the ranged advantage. Warhorn is a great ability, a great weapon on warrior, so you can trait so your Warhorn skills remove a condition each. And they're pretty low cooldown, so that's not too bad. Free condition clear. Your Warhorn 4 is permanent swiftness pretty much. And your Warhorn 5 gains vigor and weakness, and it's a blast finisher, so it's great. Shield has a stun, and it's great for setting up your axe eviscerate. And then shield stance is just a block like engineer gear shield. The downed skills on warrior are as follows. So yeah, throw a rock, downed CC, this can be easily blinded or dodged out of or missed, so don't rely on it too much. And then vengeance is really great for it returns you to life for 15 seconds. You can't cap points, but you can get a bit of damage up before you die. So, hammer rotation. Where's my hammer? Okay, so with hammer, you have a skill called backbreaker, staggering blow. These are both CCs, one of them knocks back, one of them knocks down. Hammer 3 is a cripple, Hammer 2 is a big hitting skill that applies weakness pretty much permanently. So you can start with staggering blow, follow up with backbreaker, and then fierce blow. Any of these skills you can start casting and then turn around midway and still land them. I stuffed it up there, but yeah, and you'll still hit them. But you want to usually staggering blow, backbreaker, and then fierce blow. That's the hammer rotation. With greatsword you want to start with 100 blades. Usually you can only get about 2 or 3 procs off before your opponent dodges, unless they're immobilized, but yeah, you usually get only 2 or 3 off. Then immediately greatsword 3 into your foe for a massive 8k burst. Yeah, that was 8k. And then you can follow up with blade trail if they're crippled. If they're already crippled or chilled, you can immediately rush to your foe, and then F1 for a big burst. And switch back to hammer because we only have a 5-second weapon swap. Whoa, that bugged out. I did 100 blades with my hammer. The auto attack is also great for cleaving, so don't underestimate that. And yeah, you never want to use your heal skill unless you're massively getting pressured by conditions and all your condition removal is down. Then the conditions on you are currently ineffective. So if you have 20 bleeds and 10 burn on you and you pop your heal, they all do no damage for 6 seconds unless this gets removed. So endure pain, I already covered that. So another stance you could run instead of the signet is balanced stance, but we already get stability from a trait here. Whenever you're CC'd, you proc balanced stance automatically the first time, and this doesn't give you a 180 toughness passively. That's why we run it. It's also a stun break and gives you 10 stacks instead of 5. Just, it's a bit overkill, but yeah, it helps. Then rampage is a massive damage physical skill. I run, where is it? Peak performance, so it recharges faster. I'll go through the skills on Rampage. The number 1 is a massive auto attack pressure skill. If it crits, your opponent's just dead. The number 2 knocks them back. Number 3 catches up to them, so that's a combo there. The number 5 is a massive leap stun. Number 4 chucks a boulder which stuns people. And then it only lasts 15 seconds. It used to last 20. But it got nerfed because it's so powerful. It's also pretty much a tank shredder, so don't be afraid to use it on things like bunker guardians, bunker engineers, DDLEs. It just shreds them down. And yeah, so those are some weapons and some rotations. If you want to check out a warrior build on my channel, I have a destroyer one and a hammer greatsword warrior build, so that goes more in depth. It has gameplay of warrior and covers some simple rotations there. So how to deal with the other classes now. That's a bit more complicated. I'll start with Thief, go around, and then I'll cover Ranger, because there's no Ranger bot. So on Thieves have a lot of access to blind, so you want to make use of Berserker stance. So conditions cannot be applied to you, that means blind cannot be applied to you. And then you want to try and 100 blades them down. Thieves have very little access to stun breaks, so you can catch them in your staggering blow, backbreakers, or hammer stuns. Hammer stun is a massive 2-second stun, which helps you set up your 100 blade whirlwind attack combo. You can also, while they're in stealth, you can 100 blades or arcing slice, or if they go into a shadow refuge. If they jump you and get a big backstab on you, you want to pop Endure Pain, and then you take 0 damage from them. If they're a condition build, you want to pop Berserker stance, so we can survive very well against Thieves, and a regen up through Healing Signet. Also, if they manage to spike you down far enough, we pop Endure Pain at 25% as well. Then against an enemy warrior, what you want to do is you want to try and bait their stances, so you can pop your stances after, so you have the advantage and can kind of control the fight. You also want to try and get them in CC locked first. You might want to pop your Dolyak Signet a bit early, just to make sure you don't get CC'd. And if you have to, you can just use Rampage to win the fight. When you're stomping, you can pop Dolyak Signet for the what's it called? The stability. Yep. You want to use your Greatsword Whirlwind attack very often when fighting warriors. Try and skip Blade Trail, use 100 blades if you can, and use your hammer rotations on them. So against a guardian, if you're against a burn guard, you can just pop Berserker stance and burst them down literally. That's all it takes to kill a guardian now, because they all run condition and have barely anything else. If you're versing a proper meditation guard or a bunker guard, with a bunker guard you can kill them with Rampage and Dolyak Signet, because bunker guards have a lot of CC, which is annoying, messes up your burst. And then against a meditation guard, you can pop Endure Pain to absorb all the burst and burst them down back, because we have a lot of health and a lot of damage. Ellie, I'll go with Engineer. Yep, so against an Engineer, if you're versing a Bunker Engineer or an Elixir Soldier Rifle Engineer, you want to CC them. When they block, you can just wait out and then try and stun them. When they come out, get your 100 blade rotations off. Pop Endure Pain if you're versing a Berserker Engineer to absorb their massive burst, because that's all they can do, and then just kill them. If the Bunker Engineer can out-heal and out-kite you, just pop Rampage and charge after them. Against Ellies, most Ellies run DD now, so they have high condi pressure and high power pressure. What you want to do is try and evade all their power burst skills. So whenever they're in fire attunement, you want to be on Greatsword, so you have the access to Whirlwind to evade their fire number 3. When they switch to water is when you primarily want to burst them down, because they have no access to evades, they only can chill you. When they're in earth, they don't really do much. When they're in lightning, be careful, don't 100 blades on them, because their shocking aura will interrupt you. If you're taking heavy condition pressure, just pop Berserker Stance or Healing Signet. And if you're versing an SF LE, just pop Endure Pain, because all they do is deal damage and they're extremely squishy. Pretty much one Greatsword Rush and Whirlwind Attack will kill them. Another good combo with Greatsword is, so like I said there, Rush immediately followed up with a Whirlwind Attack here. Yeah, and then you can switch to Hammer, Hammer 4, Hammer 5, Hammer 2, Dodge Out, Hammer Stun. Against Mesmers, against a Power Mesmer, or a Shatter-Upped Mesmer, if you're versing an Interrupt Mesmer and you can see the mantras on their bar, you want to pop Dolyak Signet prematurely, just so you don't get insta-bursted down. And if you know you're getting range pressure down, you want to pop Endure Pain and try and get to the Mesmer. So warriors have access to a lot of cripple through Blade Trail, Hammer Shock, and a lot of CC, so we can stick on the Mesmers. So even if this Mesmer tries to kite me, he is a bot after all, but yeah, you can just really stick on them and get up in their face and pressure them down. And we also hit very hard on Mesmers because they're a light armor class and all of them run Berserker. If you're versing a Condi Mesmer, you pretty much have 10 seconds of immunity from everything, and then you're pretty much dead because we have no condition clear, but you can try and kill them within the 10 seconds. Once this is up, you want to usually get away with Rush, Whirlwind. You can also run away with Hammer Stun because it's a 600 range leap, and in worst case scenario you can run away with Rampage. So against Necros, against your typical Celestial Signet Necro, you can usually out-sustain them. You want to pop Berserker Stance during the middle of the fight because that's when they'll put all their conditions onto you, they'll transfer them, they'll do all that stuff. You can CC them because they have very little access to stability and stun breaks, so once they get stuck in your CC train, they're dead. And yeah, you can pretty much burst them down. These two skills defeat Necros. And since Necro's only access to CC is Fear, I'm pretty sure that's right. Berserker Stance means they can't fear us, which means they can't CC us, so we can stick on them as well, really well, because they don't have access to much mobility, unlike Mesmer. And if a Necro pops Lich or Plague, you want to kind of back out, be careful, and then go back in, either with a Rampage or your Greatsword. And then, against Rangers, Rangers are usually power or condition traps, so condition trap Rangers are really easy to fight. I've been fighting a lot of them in PvP recently, and easily winning the matchup. If they don't know how to rotate properly or hide their traps, most Rangers put all their traps in one spot. That's half the issue. Oh. Okay, let's just finish this guy off. Yeah, so if you pop Berserker Stance, if you have Berserker Stance up, you win the fight against a Condition Ranger. If it's on cooldown, you can use your heal to try and make the conditions not effective, but then you only have 6 seconds and you're pretty much dead. But if you have this skill up, you win the fight. If not, you can pop Rampage, try and burst them down. But Berserker Stance is when you pop it, and then you run over all their traps, you take no conditions, and then you stick to the Ranger and kill him with Hammer and Greatsword. And then if it's a power survival Ranger, he can range pressure you very well, so you want to get to him with your Greatsword or your Rampage, and pop Endure Pain if he does the big quickness pew pew combo on you. We can also survive an extra 5 seconds because of our Endure Pain at 25% health, so that's pretty much free survival skill against Ranger. If they're running some type of hybrid power conditions, you're gonna have to pop both of your stances and try and kill them quickly, or bail out of the fight and wait for your team. So on a warrior, you don't want to go to an outnumbered fight against a power Mesmer and condition Mesmer would mess you up, because that covers 2 big parts of our immunity pretty much, so anything that mixes it up. You can usually win against EDLs, but the fight will take a long time, so it's a bit worthless. You want to ping it so your team can come and help. Like a Thief can come and +1 the fight, for example. And yeah, so you can also get to points really quickly. You can kind of play the roles of a Thief, decapping, running around, getting points, but you really want to be in your team fights doing massive AoE Cleave to the enemy team, and getting a couple of safe stomps through Dolyak Signet or Rampage. Yeah, so that's about it. That's a warrior PvP class guide. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Check out some of my other PvP class guides on Mesmer and Thief. There'll be more coming soon. There's an ambulance outside, sorry. But if you want to see some gameplay of warrior or learn a build or two, you can check out my channel there. There'll be 2 warrior builds in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe for more.